So you've just finished Tutorial Island. You're standing in Lumbridge and you're probably thinking, okay, now what? Trust me, we've all been there. The early game of old school RuneScape can feel absolutely overwhelming with just how much content there is to explore. But here's the thing, having a clear set of goals to work towards makes the early game not just manageable, but actually really fun and rewarding. If you want a chance to enter the Bond giveaway, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment anything you want down below. Maybe let me know what your favorite thing was about the early game. First things first, let's unlock every skill in the game. You might be thinking, aren't they all already unlocked? Well, not quite. 2 skills are locked behind quick tutorial quests. You need to complete Druidic Ritual to unlock Herbalore. That's your potion making skill that will be crucial later on. And then there's Rune Mysteries. This unlocks runecrafting. Knock both of these quests out, they're super short. Once you've got these done, your entire skill tab becomes usable. It's a small milestone, but it's your milestone. And it sets the foundation for everything else. Okay, if you spend the early game walking everywhere, you're going to burn out fast. Transportation in RuneScape isn't just convenience. In my opinion, it's essential to enjoying the game. Start training your magic level early. This isn't just for combat. Every few levels unlocks new teleports. Varrock, Lumbridge, Falador, and Camelot. And if you push to 51, you'll get the Ardougne Teleport. Fairy rings are arguably the best transportation system in the entire game, with over 50 locations across the map. Complete Restless Ghost and Priest in Peril. This unlocks Mauritania. Do the Nature Spirit quest, which requires 18 crafting. Then complete Lost City, this needs 36 woodcutting. And then finish your Fairy Tale Part 1 and start Part 2. You only need to progress far enough to use the rings. Yes, it's a quest chain, but trust me, this unlocks so much of the game map instantly. While you're working on transportation, knock out the Ardougne Easy Diary. The reward is the Ardougne Cloak 1, which gives unlimited teleports to the Ardougne Monastery. This spot is close to a fairy ring, a prayer altar, and a spirit tree. It's insanely useful for the early and mid game. You'll also want to grab a Chronicle and some teleport cards from Diango in Draenor Village. This is a cheap teleport to the Champions Guild area. Let's talk questing. I know some people aren't fans, but here's why you should care early on. Quests unlock massive chunks of content and gives you experience that skips the worst early level grinds. A goal you could have in mind is reaching 50 quest points. This might sound like a lot, but you'll hit this faster than you think. Quest points unlock various content throughout the game, and getting to 50 gives you a solid foundation. If you want smooth sailing while you're grinding out quests, you can try to use the quest helper. It highlights exactly where to go, what to click, and what items you need. It makes questing almost effortless. You can set it to how much you want it to help you. I'd suggest not having the game be on ultra easy mode at all times, as to me that's just kinda boring, and there's not much sense of achievement, but of course you do you. 2 quests that are absolutely must-dos are Priest in Peril, as I mentioned before, it unlocks Mauritania, and Children of the Sun. This unlocks Varlamore, the newest region with some of the best content in the game. Both these regions are packed with mid-game and late-game content, so don't sleep on them. While questing, you'll naturally unlock way more ways to get around. Tree Gnome Village unlocks spirit trees and gnome gliders. The quest chains we mentioned earlier unlock the fairy rings, and various quests give you jewelry teleports and other shortcuts. If you want a structured approach, Google the OSRS Optimal Quest Guide, or you can download it as a plugin on RuneLite. There's even an Ironman specific version that prioritizes differently. The main difference is where you use your experience lamps. The regular guide dumps them into Slayer, while the Ironman guide focuses on Herbalore since it's annoying to train early on. Combat is where a lot of new players get stuck. A good milestone is 43 prayer. Getting 43 prayer is arguably one of the most important early game goals. This unlocks all 3 protection prayers. Protect from melee, protect from ranged, and protect from magic. These prayers completely block incoming damage from their respective combat styles. This makes combat heavy quests so much easier and opens up early PvM content. Yeah, it does cost money, you'll need to buy bones and offer them to an altar, but this is definitely an essential. If you haven't done the waterfall quest yet, do it as soon as you can. This quest can be completed straight off Tutorial Island. and it gives 13,750 attack and strength XP. That's enough to jump from level 1 to 30 in both skills instantly. You skip hours of early combat grinding. Monkey Madness 1 gives you the Dragon Scimitar. This is your first challenging quest, but it's so worth it. Monkey Madness 1 gives you a huge chunk of combat XP and unlocks the ability to wield the Dragon Scimitar, but bear in mind you'll need 60 attack to equip it. This weapon will be your go-to for a massive portion of the mid-game. Plus the prerequisite quests unlock the Gnome Gliders and the Spirit Trees, adding even more transportation options. Ava's Accumulator is a ranged essential. Before you seriously train ranged, complete animal magnetism. This unlocks Ava's devices, which automatically picks up your ammunition and gives you ranged accuracy bonus. Without this, you're either leaving expensive ammo on the ground or constantly having to pick it up. I would say it's a must-have. The quest requires 35 woodcutting, 30 ranged, 19 crafting and 18 slayer, plus a few quest prerequisites. With no requirements, pick up these items from the Grand Exchange. If you're a main account, the Amulet of Glory costs about 12k. This is great for all-round stats for combat. The combat bracelet is another 12 to 13k also. This is the best glove slot until you get the Barrows gloves. You can also get the climbing boots, it's super cheap and a decent early boot option. You can work towards getting the Dragon Defender. Once you have a 130 combined attack and strength levels, you can enter the Warriors Guild and start to work towards getting a Dragon Defender. This shield slot item provides a strength bonus which is rare and valuable. You'll need to work through all the defenders: bronze, iron, steel, black, mithril, adamant, rune, and finally dragon. Certain mini-games and activities are just too good to skip as an early game player. At 50 firemaking you can do Wintertodt. This used to be a method where irons would grind to 99 immediately for supplies, but that has changed a bit. I'd recommend getting your gathering and production skills to 40-50 first, because reward quality scales with your levels. You'll get tons of herbs, seeds, ores, logs and other supplies. The recent update added a warmth meter and the ability to make healing potions there, so you don't even need to bring food anymore. Collect rewards from the cart next to the bank instead of getting crates. Available at 46 Hunter after Children of the Sun, Hunter rumors at the Hunter Guild are phenomenal. You complete tasks to earn loot sacks filled with supplies that scale with your levels. The game changer here, Moonlight Moths at 75 Hunter. Combine them with raw wild kebbit to make Moonlight Moth Mix. Basically 3 prayer potions that restore 22 prayer points per dose. You can get 2 doses per item. This is huge for irons who struggle with prayer potions. Let's talk about activities that give you benefits while you're doing other things. Complete Bone Voyage to unlock Fossil Island. Then set up birdhouse runs. These take literally 2 to 3 minutes to complete and you can do them every hour. They give passive hunter experience and drop seeds and nests that you can sell. Try to unlock the dig site pendant. It teleports you straight to Fossil Island, making runs super quick. Birdhouses let you skip the absolute worst hunter levels. Tears of Guthix is free weekly XP. After completing the Tears of Guthix quest, you can play the minigame once per week. This gives experience in your lowest skill. For most people, that's runecrafting. The amount of XP scales with your quest points. More quests mean more time in the minigame. If you do this consistently, you can gain hundreds of thousands of experience over time in skills you hate training. I'd recommend keeping a low skill like runecrafting as your lowest to maximize value, unless you're unlike everyone else and you love the skill. Farming is one of those skills that seems intimidating but is actually super chill. You could visit patches at Falador, Cafferby, Ardougne, and Canifis. At 45 farming, you can unlock the farming guild and start doing contracts for seed packs. Do a farm run every hour or 2 while you're doing other activities. It's one of the most efficient skills in the game because it takes so little active time. And it's a good way to make some passive money. Let's be real, you're definitely gonna need gold. Whether you're funding prayer levels, buying gear, or preparing for construction, money makes everything easier. Here's a quick list of things that are good early on. Green dragons, herb runs, the agility pyramid, gem cutting, thieving from wealthy citizens. There are a lot of different ways in OSRS to make money. Whether it's 1 million or 10 million GP, having a target teaches you about money making in RuneScape. Trying different methods, skilling, PVM, thieving, and just figure out what you enjoy. This knowledge carries you through your entire OSRS journey. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this one. Getting the full Graceful Outfit is a grind, but it's so worth starting this early into your account. Train agility on rooftop courses and collect Marks of Grace. You need 260 marks total for the full set. Each piece reduces your weight, and the full set gives you 30% faster run energy restoration. This is essential for questing, doing farm runs, and getting around the game in general. My advice is to do it in short bursts between other activities. Trying to knock it out all at once is a recipe for disaster. The Canifis rooftop course is unlocked at 40 agility and is commonly used for the graceful grind, though you can start collecting marks earlier at lower level courses. Let's talk about skill level goals that really matter for progression. Try to aim for base 30 on every skill. This sounds like a lot, but each skill only takes 3 to 4 hours maximum to reach 30. And many are much faster. At base 30 you unlock most easy achievement diaries, it covers requirements for majority of the early and mid game quests, it teaches you how each skill works, and experience at level 30 is way more valuable than the same XP at level 70. And then if you really want to set up yourself for the mid game, you can push towards base 40s or even base 50s. At these levels you unlock better training methods, quest requirements become much easier to meet, and you're genuinely ready for mid game content. This is a good intermediate milestone. It shows you've explored most skills and have a well-rounded account. Barrows is perfect for learning basic PvM mechanics. Prayer switching, managing supplies, combat triangle usage, and very basic movement mechanics. Plus you can make some decent money and potentially get some great gear. It's old content but still relevant for learning, and nostalgic as if you know, you know. We mentioned the Ardougne Easy Diaries earlier, but diaries in general are incredible. The Varrock armor gives you more resources and XP when mining. The Explorer's Ring gives you free alchemy costs, run energy restoration, and teleports to the Falador farm. The Karumdra gloves gives you various helpful effects. The Mauritania legs gives you more runes from Barrows chests, and the list goes on and on. Start with all the easy diaries, then work on mediums as you progress. They give you concrete golds and reward you with genuinely useful items. It won't matter much until you get to the mid to end game, but if you can, keep your bank organized. This saves time and makes it more satisfying to use your bank. Now these goals are slightly harder, but they bridge the gap between the early and mid game, so they're worth mentioning for someone who's almost there. The fighter torso is from the Barbarian Assault minigame. This chest piece provides a strength bonus, rare for chest armor. You need to play different roles and earn points. It's a bit of a grind, but it's free and beats anything else until you get much higher tier gear. Complete the Fremnik Trials and Fremnik Isles quest to unlock the Nater's Knot Helm. Another strength bonus item that's relatively easy to get and lasts you a long time. This is definitely tough for beginners, but you can work towards getting a fire cape. If you get this, you're definitely mid game ready. The fight caves will teach you prayer flicking, wave management, supply conservation, and high pressure PvM mechanics. Don't stress if you can't get this right away, it definitely takes multiple attempts for most players. But when you do get it, it's a massive confidence boost and genuinely good gear. Recipe for disaster for the Barrows gloves. This is definitely the quest to slowly work toward. Recipe for disaster has sub-quests that require you to progress through tons of content. But the final reward are the Barrows gloves. These are the best in-slot gloves for a huge portion of the game. These are more long-term goals, but having it as an end goal for the early game gives you direction. The beauty of old school RuneScape is that there's no correct way to play. These goals aren't a rigid checklist. I guess you could call it a roadmap. Pick what sounds fun, work on multiple things at once, and don't stress about being efficient. Unless you really want to, then go for it, but the real goal is simple. Have fun. Whether you're a completionist grinding every achievement, a PvMer rushing towards endgame content, a skiller who never touches combat, or just someone exploring at your own pace, all of those are valid. The journey is the game. The early game is super overwhelming, confusing, but it's for sure so damn enjoyable. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to enter the Bond giveaway. There's a link in the description if you want to join the Discord community. Tap the video on screen to see which Slayer task can make you bank. I hope you're having a good day. Until the next one, peace.